Before he came to Flint, Heston was interviewed by the Georgetown Hoya about Kayla's death, and even his own NRA website talked about it.
We wanted to let the NRA know that we haven't forgotten about Kayla Rowland. How could they come here? To me, it's like they're rubbing their nose in it. I was shocked and appalled that they would come here.
Heston was asked by a local reporter why he came to Flint after the tragedy at Buell, and what did the NRA have to say about 6-year-olds using guns.
We spend $1 million every year, and we teach it to 5- and 6-year-olds. We say, if you see a gun, don't touch it, leave the room, call an adult.
And then Moses himself showed up.
Right here in the city of Flint?
Right here in Flint.
Were there people that wanted you to try this child, or to even try him as an adult?
Oh, yeah. There were people from all over America that wrote and called and sent mail, and it was amazing to me. Groups that were affiliated with the NRA, groups that, you know, people what I call gun nuts, writing me and telling me what a horrible thing it was that I had admonished homeowners in our country to be careful about bringing weapons into their home. They wanted this little boy hung from the highest tree. I mean, there was such an undercurrent of racism and hate and anger. It was ugly.
That's a picture that the little boy that was involved in the Buell school shooting, once he was brought back here to our office, about 15 minutes after the shooting took place, I gave him some crayons and stuff to kind of occupy him a little bit. And he came over and drew that picture for me, because at the time I had pictures of behind my desk that my children had drew for me, and he wanted to draw me one to hang on my desk.
This is what he drew for you. What did he say this was?
That's him at his house.
That's him at his house, right here. And why did you decide to hang on to it?
Because of the gravity of the situation and what had occurred, and he asked me to hang that behind my desk, so I put it in a frame, and that's where it'll stay.
Tamarla Owens was the mother of the 6-year-old boy. In order to get food stamps and health care for her children, Tamarla was forced to work as part of the state of Michigan's Welfare to Work program. This program was so successful in tossing poor people off welfare that its founder, Gerald Miller, was soon hired by the #1 firm in the country that states turn to privatize their welfare systems. That firm was Lockheed Martin. With the Cold War over and no enemy left to frighten the public, Lockheed had found the perfect way to diversify and the perfect way to profit from people's fears, with an enemy much closer to home: poor black mothers like Tamarla Owens.
So you've got a one-parent family, and the mother's traveling 60 miles, an hour and a half away to go to work, an hour and a half to come home. How does that help a community? And but that's part of the state, you know, making parents responsible, making them work for their
welfare to work.
Welfare to work. That's a program that ought to be stopped because it really has no merit. I think it adds more to the problem than it does to solve it.
Really?
You're
the sheriff, and you feel this way?
I do. I do. I wish I could put 2 parents in every home and make every parent equally responsible, but you can't do that. But we're not doing anything by taking the one parent and putting them on a bus and sending them out of town to make $5.50 an hour.
This is the bus that she was forced to ride every day in order to work off the welfare money the state had given her. She and many others from Flint who were poor would make the 80-mile round-trip journey every day from Flint to Auburn Hills in Oakland County, one of the wealthiest areas in the country. Tamarla would leave early in the morning and return late at night, rarely seeing her young children.
What's the point of having, what's the point in doing that? Where does the state benefit? Where does Flint and Genesee County benefit from that? We have a child dead. I think that may be in part of the problem. We drove the one parent out. Now, you or anybody else that can tell me that that best serves the community, I shake my head and wonder why.
How long have you been riding the bus?
I've been working here just about 3 years now.
About 3 years?
Yeah. I got my brother working here. Half of my neighborhood works out here. Just about everybody I know personally works out here in the mall. doing the same thing I'm doing now. They only pay minimum wage in Flint. I come 40 miles to make $3 or $4 more an hour.
How much you make an hour here?
I make $8.50 now.
$8.50. Yeah. Is that enough to pay the bills?
No.
So did you know Tamarla Owens, the woman whose son shot the little girl? I think she rode this bus.
I know a little bit, not real good.
Nice lady?
Yeah, she was okay. She came to work every day, did her job. She worked 2 jobs, so.
Worked 2 jobs.
She was trying to make ends meet.
This is Dick Clark's American Bandstand Grill, where Tamarla worked one of her 2 jobs.
She worked in this room here as a bartender, fountain person, making drinks, making shakes, desserts.
Was she a good employee?
Yeah, she was. But she also worked at the fudgery in the mall here.
Right, the state at Sleister. Dick Clark is an American icon, the man who brought rock and roll into our homes every week on American Bandstand.
Every part of your life you can link up to a part of music usually. So as Dick says, it's the soundtrack of our lives. Music's the soundtrack of our lives.
His restaurant and the fudgery here in Auburn Hills applied for special tax breaks because they were using welfare people as employees. Even though Tamarla worked up to 70 hours a week at these 2 jobs in the mall, she did not earn enough to pay her rent. And 1 week before the shooting, was told by her landlord that he was evicting her. With nowhere to go and not wanting to take her 2 children out of school, Tamarla asked her brother if they could stay with him for a few weeks. It was there that Tamarla's son found a small .32 caliber gun and took it to school. Tamarla did not see him take the gun to school because she was on a state bus to go serve drinks and make fudge for rich people. I decided to fly out to California to ask Dick Clark what he thought about a system that forces poor single mothers to work 2 low-wage jobs to survive.
I'm doing a documentary on these school shootings and, you know, guns and all that. And in my hometown of Flint, Michigan, which you know, this little 6-year-old shot a 6-year-old.
Get in the car, Dave.
In class.
Watch your hand. Watch your arm.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, we're really late.
Anyways, but the mother of the kid who did the shooting works at Dick Clark's All-American Grill in Oakland County.
Close the door.
And it's a welfare to work program. And these people are forced to, Dick, no.
Come on,
I want you to help me to convince the governor of Michigan it's a welfare to work. These women are forced to work. They've got kids at home. Dick. Oh, jeez.
In George Bush's America, the poor were not a priority. And after September 11th, 2001, correcting America's social problems took a back seat to fear, panic, and a new set of priorities.
One way to express our unity is for Congress to set the military budget, the defense of the United States, as a #1 priority and fully fund my request.
We've been selling a lot of chemical suits with the gloves and the hoods, and we've been selling a lot of gas masks.
I'm trying to get one for myself and my puppy.
Dennis Marks and his wife have been stocking up supplies.
Weapons, ammunition. Walmart says after September 11th, gun sales surged 70%, ammunition up 140%. In Dallas, they're already taking pot shots at Osama bin Laden.
In the months following the 9/11 attacks, we Americans were gripped in a state of fear. None of us knew if we, too, would die at the hands of the evildoers, or who might be sitting next to some crazy guy trying to light his shoes on fire. The threat seemed very real.
It's probably a little paranoia or anything, but I'm not going to take the chance, that's all. Just try to protect myself and my family.
Our growing fears were turned into a handsome profit for many.
Mike Blake has seen a 30% increase in sales at ADT over the last month. Most of the people he talks to are still a little uneasy over these September 11th terrorist attacks.
How are we afraid of all these things? It's because a lot of people are making a lot of money off of it and a lot of careers off of it.